We'll talk about Brandon in a minute. I don't want to get to. I want to get to Brandon, but before I get to, well, maybe we should get to Brandon right now since we're talking about Brandon. How about this? What is the number one reason the relationship fell apart between Aiyuk and the Niners, in your opinion? Of course, there's a lot of factors here, but if you had to pinpoint the number one reason everything fell apart so fast, what do you think it was?
Brandon Aiyuk wearing red shorts at practice. That was the
Easy.
finishing point. It would like
Yeah,
I
that was
Grant, when
bad.
you when you told us what the points of the show were going to be today, this is the thing. Like, I don't really like. There's definitely things you can like think about that Aiyuk did. I just like I don't think anyone knows what the main reason why the relationship fell apart. Like, no one knows. Like,
I think
only
it's
one
too.
that I can think about is like Ayuk being a diva because I don't know what Shanahan or John
Mm.
Lynch did. I only know Ayuk's side of the story. So Ayuk looks like a bad guy right now. So I'm just gonna say Ayuk being a diva. That's the only
It's
thing that I
the
know.
thing
That's
is it's
definitely
not
the Niners side of the story, right?
it's not just that.
Unprofessional, incommunicative, immature, diva.
Yeah, it's not just that. Now that can be all true, but I think it's a twofold issue. I think also John Lynch never wanted to sign Brandon Aiyuk. That's another thing. First off, that's number one. Before any of this stuff happened, they were exploring trades all off season. They were about to ship him to New England. He didn't want to go to New England, which is hilarious now because New England's a Super Bowl contender, right? Like, are going to be a perennial like contender each year. And then Pittsburgh, right? But the thing is John Lynch, Kyle obviously ran up to his office, said, "Hey, we got something. Let's do it." John Lynch was always hesitant about it, did it to appease Kyle. It backfired. And now John Lynch is embarrassed about signing Aiyuk. And the whole organization is embarrassed about signing Aiyuk because the fact of the matter is he didn't show up to practice. He was disrespecting the team. And they came back. He didn't look as good, obviously, because he didn't practice. He got injured. And then they looked real bad. And remember, the Niners are a prideful organization. They see themselves as like, okay, we're like the premier organization in football. We're a premier organization in sports. We can't look this bad. Okay. People are talking like, why'd we sign Aiyuk? Why'd we trade all those picks for Trey Lance? This is coming back to bite us. John Lynch has obviously got a big ego. He's a good GM, but he's also got a big ego. I think that plays into it completely and how this story is playing out. I don't think it's just Brandon Aiyuk's tantrums. I think it's the Niners never intended to pay him. They were always hesitant. Once they did, they knew it was a mistake right away, and it's looked very bad in media as well for them.
I do think the John Lynch and Shanahan have like something to do with it. I do think that this is mainly on Ayuk. Like we see his antics. Like, I know this is stupid. I keep bringing up the red shorts, but like, dude, just if no one else is wearing red shorts, just wear black shorts, dude. Like, why? Like, stop trying to be different. And like, I do think this is all Ayuk's fault. He's just like, I don't know. Ayuk's just weird. Like, his Instagram pictures are weird. What do you do? Like, just he never did this before. That's why it's so weird. I like
He's just a
ever
wide
since he
receiver.
got that
It's
money,
not
he
weird.
just changed. He's posting
I don't
Wide
pictures of him
receivers
in
are like
I don't
that.
think he changed at all. I think he was
Really?
always like this. I think this is why he was in the doghouse his second year in the league. I think he was always kind of a me first guy. I think he was always disgruntled with his place in the pecking order. He tweeted about being the fourth option in a run first attack. I mean,
Yeah.
he always felt like he didn't really want to be on the Niners. It's like, man, you drafted me in round one, but you don't use me. I could have gone to the Packers and played with Aaron Rodgers and had way more catches. Like, why am I here? It always felt like that. And then they went to a Super Bowl. It all like clicked in 2023, and then it had that awful ending. And
Yeah.
it
So he's
just
just a
seemed like,
baby. Like, if things don't go his way,
but
he's
he
just a
always
baby.
has been a baby, man. Like a lot of football players are babies, dude. He's young. He's been coddled. He might be a little immature, but they knew that about him. Like, to me, I kind of agree with Brandon, but he put it on John Lynch, and I would put it on Jed York. To me,
Okay.
Jed
Yeah.
York didn't want to pay him. And Kyle Shanahan was like, nah, dude, come on. We need this guy. And Jed was like, okay. And then immediately, like, he didn't play well coming back. He got hurt. And once he got hurt, it was like, well, we're definitely not paying him anymore. And then they tried to trade him before they had to give him that option bonus this year. They couldn't. They had to write him another $25 million check. And I think at that point, Jed was like, dude, I'm not paying him another dollar. Figure it out. And I think they figured out, all right, man, well, like, he's probably going to violate hella terms of this contract. He's probably going to violate it. And once he does, like, we'll be ready. To me, they can paint him like a monster, but if they wanted to pay him, they'd overlook. He's not T.O. He's not Antonio Brown. Like, he's a he's a diva wide receiver for sure.
Yeah.
But I bet Amon-Ra St. Brown is. I bet most of them are. Like, He's never been arrested. He's never. I mean, he has gotten in a fight with Fred Warner in practice, but I mean, like that was like being a good teammate and stuff. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
right,
Getting a
you
fight
know,
with Fred Warner is probably it's team bonding. You know, like I don't
Absolutely, that's
know.
the way I saw it. Like Fred Warner hit a player really hard, and Ayuk stood up for him in practice. It's kind of thing that kind of
Good.
has to happen in training
But
camp.
Maj, before you go, dude, I mean, I think the point that Grant and I know he said York, I said Lynch. I think the fact is it's an organizational malpractice and how it was handled, and the optics. Like it just looked bad immediately from the jump with the way he was disrespecting the organization. They still continued to pay him. Then they
I agree.
immediately tried to make him look like the bad guy immediately through his rehab once it started going sideways and they had to pay him money. And that's why Jed York, we talked about this earlier. That's why Jed York doesn't want to spend the extra money on the Niners. That's why they didn't trade for somebody at the deadline. It's another thing.
Maj, aren't they trying to act like Ayuk doesn't want to be here? Right? He doesn't
Yeah.
want to rehab. He doesn't want to play. Doesn't want to be here. That's their side of the story.
But didn't they say
Even
that he
after they
hasn't
took away
been?
his guarantees, he was there in training camp every single day. He was in the meetings. He was on the field. He was there before the games, the first few weeks of the season. And I think what he was trying to say is, yo, like that's not true. I do want to play. I do want to be on the 49ers. They took away my guarantees for some bullshit, acting like I'm a malingering malcontent who doesn't want to play football. Like that couldn't be further from the case. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's the way I interpret what he was doing.
Yeah, and I could see that. It's just, Grant, you don't think he's changed at all? Like, if you go back and watch his old interviews, he's like smiling, and now he's just like, dude. Ever since he signed that contract, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I just thought he
I
like
don't think
turned
money
weird.
changes you. I think it just brings out what you've always been like. And I think he's always been
Yeah.
like this. And now he just feels like when you're 22, when you're trying to make a good impression, you cut your hair and you smile, right? And when you're
Yeah,
26 and you feel like you're the best in the world, it's like, I'm going to say how I'm going to look and say how the fuck I feel,
and then you're
right?
posting Instagram pictures with you in a ski mask with like sleeves and stuff on. Like, you gotta
It is
respect that.
sad though. The
Gotta
whole
respect that.
situation's just sad because
Yeah, because now
I
Niner fans hate him and there's no one really in his corner.
not just that. It's
No.
not just that. It's like also Brandon Aiyuk is an excellent wide receiver, and like his talent's being wasted. It's like it's the same. Like I know he got injured, but he probably should at least get back to 85 or 90% of what he was pre-injury. Like he's young. It's not like he's 30 and tore his Achilles and ACL, right?
It's
Like
true. I mean, like just
he's
for football fans out
26.
there, we were kind of robbed of a year of Brandon Ayuk. He should have been out there this year. Sucks. Hopefully he gets out
100%.
there somewhere. I'm not rooting
He
for him
will,
and
and
his
he's gonna
career to just
Washington.
fall
well.
apart.
He's gonna play well, and it's gonna make John Lynch and Jed York look very bad.
He's
I'm
gonna
telling
go
you
to
what's gonna happen
Washington.
right now. Of course, he's gonna go to Washington, and Jaden's a good quarterback, and they'll play very well together. And then people are gonna be like, "Why did you just want to get out of his contract? Why didn't you try and mend the relationship and actually put him out there on the field?"
Because
I don't
like
know.
you took away the guarantees right before the season. You try to
Yeah,
make it seem like you don't want to play here. You're not serious. You don't want to be out there. You don't want to be on the Niners. And he's like, I was away from the team. Nick Bosa does the same thing. I'm back. I'm in the meetings. I'm on the practice field. I'm running around. I'm ready to go. If you want me, just give me my guarantees back and let's go back to the way it was a year ago when you thought I was special. And then I'm just like, no, we're not going to do that. So to me, this is financial. They saved Jed York money. And they thought they could do it because they don't think they need him anymore. And maybe they don't, dude. Maybe they win the Super Bowl without him this year. But chances are they won't.
they won't.
And
Yeah.
we're gonna come back to this and be like, was it worth saving the billionaire some money? Like, I'm always pro billionaire spending. Like, I don't give a damn when Jed York
There's
saves money. Are you fucking kidding?
there's one avenue for the Niners to win the Super Bowl, by the way, which I know we'll probably talk about later in the show. They need the 1 seed, and it starts with Seattle winning on Thursday night. Like that has to happen for that to happen. Obviously, Puka Nacua was on Aiden Ross's stream, and now there's all that backlash and stuff, and who knows what that'll do to the locker room for the Rams. But I mean, the fact of the matter is the Rams are the best team in football right now. And if they have the 1 seed, I know it's basically Levi South, right? Like they're still a much more talented team. Even though they probably wouldn't want to see the 49ers, I'd prefer to see them at Levi's rather than SoFi Stadium. Still, I don't care.